Hello, people of YouTube. I wanted to do a video. This would be like my second video I've ever done on YouTube about my survival of narcissism. Now, as a bit of a background, I become a Christian in 2020 when all the COVID stuff was going around, and I hadn't been in a relationship for about 2 years. I'd been walking with the Lord, and something happened. I got on a dating site, and I come across this woman. She was Vietnamese, and she lived about 5 hours from my home. And I thought, why not? So I went and visited her town, and I quite liked it there. And at first she wouldn't even see me. I said to her, look, I'm here now, because she said, oh, I thought you were joking. I actually have work. So she made me wait there for 3 days before she'd even meet me. And so we met, and we got together over a few days, and I just decided, look, if we're gonna get together, because we live so far apart, we'd have to get serious early, And so I ended up I'd go visit her on weekends over a 6-month period, and I wasn't doing all the right things with God. I was fornicating with her and having sex with her. And at first she was just all over me, and she had a son at the time, and it didn't seem to bother her that he was in the house. I noticed strange things happening. I'd go up for the weekend, and this was probably after the first month, and then she started denying me, just saying, oh no, I don't want to right now. And I thought, I've driven 5 hours to see you and you don't miss me. And then, as I broke up with her after a couple of months, and then I felt bad, I felt guilty, because that's what the narcissists do, they make you feel guilty. And so I sent her flowers, I apologised, I said, oh, we can get through this. And she made me wait another week before she even replied to me to let me know that she accepted my apology. And the months went by, and I ended up I'd listen to lots of church music in the house, and she'd always complain about it, but I'd put it on anyway. And at one stage she's like, oh, let's go to church. And I thought it was strange, because she hated church. And so we started going to church, and maybe another 6 months rolled on, and then she decided she wanted to be a Christian. She went up to the pastor, and he blessed her, and then we got baptized on the beach. I got rebaptized, and we did it together, and it felt special. And after that, we're in the process of buying a house. So I married her, because I thought, wow, now we're two Christians, because before she was a Buddhist. And it felt like I was starting to get things right with God. I was getting my life together. I was, doing the right things. And then I noticed she'd be saying strange stuff to me all the time, you're fat, you're useless, sort of things. They were always in subtle ways, so I didn't know if she was joking or not. And I pulled her up a few times and said, look, this is not appropriate. And she ended up she'd say, oh, I don't care, and then she'd give me the silent treatment and walk off, and I wouldn't hear from her for about a week. And at one stage I said, oh, I want a divorce, and then she just had this massive cry in the bedroom, and I thought, oh no, what have I done? Like it confused me, like, and I thought, oh, maybe she does actually love me, and so we got back together again, and same thing every few months, like we'd have a fight. She wouldn't talk to me for a week. She'd just anything I said to her, she'd gaslight me. Like she'd always basically nothing was her fault, everything was my fault. And whenever she did apologize, it always seemed to still point to the fact that I should apologize. And like a couple of weeks ago, she wanted to go out for dinner, and we hadn't really been speaking for a couple of weeks, like, because most of the time she'd come home and she'd have a son 50-50, so the week that she didn't have her son, she would just work non-stop, even on the weekends, so she didn't have to see me. She'd always use sex as a weapon, like we'd have sex maybe once a month, and that had been going on for the whole of our relationship, basically. And so this was one of those days where I was just getting frustrated because we never talk anyway, and it's always forced. Like I always have to start her off to get her talking, and it's always about her. It's never, how was your day? And if she does ask me how my day is and I say, oh, I haven't had a good day, she'd say it was my fault. So anyway, she wanted to go out for dinner, and I said, look, you must be joking. And she's like, what do you mean? I said, well, I just don't like the way you treat me. Like you treat me like crap, and then you want me to take you out for dinner. And so she just immediately sat down to me, and I could see the rage on her face. Like her mask was like just falling down. And so we've had a chat, and she keeps trying to gaslight me and say it's my fault, like, and I'd lost my job like 2 weeks prior to the argument, and she'd been giving me a hard time, saying you're lazy, you're this, you're that, and I've been trying to find work, but there was just nothing going on, and I'd spent the last 6 months actually working every day. Like I was working 7 days a week, and the job I actually ended up leaving, I was doing an 84-hour week, 1 week, and then the other week was 60, so it was 12 days on, 2 days off, and I was exhausted, and so I ended up having this chat with her, and she kept gaslighting me, and then she just stood up and she's gone, well, we've got nothing else to talk about. And I just felt broken because this just keeps happening, and I thought, this person really doesn't care about me, and I can't. And something was building in my spirit, like God just put his hand on me, like, no more, son, no more. And she's just made this big dramatic exit. She's like, oh, well, I'm leaving you. And she's pulled everything out of the marital bedroom. Like we've got a 4-bedroom house. So she's pulled everything out of the master bedroom and just gone into another room and just decided, she's taken this room. And so I thought, oh, well, that's perfect, because I've just put a deadbolt on the bedroom door, and so I'll just live out of there, because at this stage, I really didn't trust her, because not only had she drained me financially, like I'd spent about 50 grand on a lawyer for her previous marriage, like, because she was still going to court after 8 years. And I got her the most expensive lawyer I could. It used to be my lawyer. She's about $600 an hour. And I kept thinking to myself, why are we losing the court case? Why, like, every turn, like everything that she'd do would fail in court. And her ex didn't even have a lawyer half the time. And I was thinking, this is not right. And me being a man of God, what's going on? I did not see the warning signs. And she ended up, like, that court was for her custody of her son. And she was so lazy with her custody, like she wanted me to do it. She wanted me to do all the paperwork, and I said, "No, I'm sorry, I'm not getting involved because it's your son, and you need to pick what you want out of this." And she ended up, she was so lazy doing her paperwork that she stuffed it all up, and then she was blaming the lawyer, like, the lawyer's just really bad. And I thought, well, she can't be, because she won my case, and it was really easy. It only took a year. But she'd drawn this case out so much that it cost about 50 grand. And I remember her saying to me, I want to take him for settlement. I want to, because she'd been divorced for like, just over 8 years, but because she hadn't actually done the paperwork, like I had to actually divorce her as well. Like I paid for a divorce. I paid for her son's iPad that she was still paying off, her phone, so that we could buy the house. And also I paid off a $4,000 credit card of hers. So in the end, she wanted to do this settlement, and I said, I don't think it's a great idea because we don't have much money left. But, you should, if you want to do it, you're probably going to have to pay for your lawyer yourself. Because I said, I just can't keep paying for you, I said, I try to help you out, but it's just too much. So she's like, yeah, okay. And then she just keep working more and more and giving me less and less breadcrumbs, like, I'm too tired, I'm this, I'm that. So when she finally left, decided, I'm leaving you, and I locked the bedroom up, she was shocked because she thought I'd just be like, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. But God had done a work in me. God had rescued me. He'd ripped the chains off. He said, we're going, son. And she's come back a week later. I'd had no contact with her. Like she sent one nasty text message to me because she come up a week later and she's like, I want to have a talk to you. And I said, look, we've got nothing else to talk about. We are done. And she sent me this nasty text message going, I wanted to sit down with you tonight. And just basically everything was gaslighting me, saying, it's all your fault, blah, blah, blah. So, I'd been doing my research, seeing, what's wrong with these narcissists, because I didn't fully understand. And people had advised, just do no contact. So I blocked her. And because I wasn't from here, all the friends I have were mutual friends of hers. So basically, I deleted 90% of them. I've got one of them on there. I'm still not sure if I can trust them or not. But I went into town the other week thinking, I'm going to enjoy myself. I've gone down to the local bakery, and the owner's also Vietnamese. And I've ordered the same order for the last 3 years, and I basically ordered the same thing, and he's bought me out this schnitzel roll, and I was like, I never ordered that, what's that? But I thought, all right, I'll just eat it, see what it's like. And it wasn't too bad, but then I went back the next day, and I've been more precise. I've gone, mate, I want the roast pork roll. I've pointed at it. I've spoke very slowly and concise. And then he's bought me out this same schnitzel roll. And this made me mad, and I don't get mad very often. So I've just grabbed this thing and I've just chucked it on the counter. I said, mate, this is the wrong order. I said, and you did the same thing to me yesterday, and I've just walked out. And he's come up and he's tried to apologise to me, but I don't think I'll ever go back there, because it's obvious she's done a smear campaign there and just to discredit me. But it's God's really helping me get through it. But all these things she's done to me has just proved the truth. She never loved me. She never wanted anything more than money off me. Like when we were first going out, she knew I had money, so she's like, "Oh, hey, I just want to buy like a expensive necklace from my country, and I want to get you one too. Do you reckon you could give me $6,000?" And I was like, $6,000? And she's like, "Oh yeah." She said, "Oh, you've got to do these things when you first marry a Vietnamese woman. Like you got to show the parents you have money and all this," and made up this big story, right? So, oh yeah. So I gave it to her, and it was a beautiful necklace. Like the gold they have in Vietnam is different from other countries' gold. It was beautiful. You couldn't tarnish it. Didn't matter what. Like if you went swimming at the beach in it, it would still look shiny and gold. And I love that thing. I thought, oh, this is beautiful. So when she split from me, she's stolen that too, and on top of draining the bank accounts, and I was just like, look, I want my necklace back. And she just started trying to gaslight me and start this full-on war with me. So I just shut my mouth and walked away. But I'm still waiting on that necklace. I paid for it, it's mine, and I've paid for everything of hers, but she still won't give it back, eh? And it's just like she thinks, oh, this will screw him. But at the end of the day, one thing I want people to take away from my video is just that it doesn't matter what these narcissists take away from you. Like, I bought her a house. If the house goes, if my dog goes, if everything else goes, it doesn't matter because they're out of your life. You have peace now. Like, I'm actually starting to smile now, and I'm talking to people, friends. I'm having friendships with people again that, I couldn't do before because I had all this noise in my life, and it's unfortunate that 3.5 years have been because of this, like I've had to deal with this, but God can use anything that happens to you for good. And one thing that I can take away is I'm so much stronger than I was before. Like I'm not going to put up with manipulative people anymore. I know who I am in Christ, and that's the most beautiful thing to come out of this. And I know He holds my hand, and it's only strengthened my relationship with Him. So hang in there, brothers and sisters. Like, whatever you're going through, just leave that person, because they won't care if you're there or you're not. But you care. Your life is important, and all they're doing is draining you. Just keep on fighting, Fight with silence. Just don't give them anything. There's no point even talking to them. They're just like little children, but they're fragile little children. Like, they're broken, and they will never accept any of the pain they've caused. They will never accept that anything's their fault. They don't know how to deal with emotions. Like, they're that fragile. So just move on with your life. And I hope you all find Christ, whoever watches this video, because without God, life is a lot harder. I know from the beginning, when I first was a Christian, that I'd ask God for anything, and He would do it, and most of the time it would be right away. So I want to get back to that relationship with Him where, He considers me a friend. And I wish you all the best. God bless you.